Hello, YouTubers.
Grandad, what activities did you do when you were younger?
Well, I think very much like all young people do. We liked hanging out with our friends, but things were different then. We didn't have televisions, really radios that were any good. We certainly didn't have computers and gaming machines and iPods and all the things that you have today. So I guess most of our activities were outdoors, and fortunately the estate where my friends lived, we lived just next door to the countryside, so we spent much of our time in the woods that existed there, climbing trees, sliding down sandy banks, whittling bits of wood to make bows and arrows, and just having fun in that way. But a great deal of the time in the summertime, and of course my memories of the summertime are that the sun always shone, which of course it couldn't have done, but that's my memory of it. We spent a great deal of our time, from about May until September, swimming in a river that was nearby. When I say swimming, that's not strictly true. Messing about in the river. There was an old tree on which there was a rope hanging, and we used to swing on the rope and drop into the river and splash about and have wrestling matches in the muddy banks and fights with mud balls and things like that. So swimming perhaps wasn't perfectly true, and I couldn't swim. I remember at school that we were taken to an open air swimming pool, which was basically a constructed arena, which the river was diverted into it, and it had a shallow end and a deeper end, and those people who couldn't swim just jumped up and down in the shallow end, and those people that could did it. I think they worked on the premise that if you sank and came up again, then you were okay. So we spent a lot of time messing about in the river, and I think eventually I found that if I lay on my back and kicked my legs and flailed my arms about, that I wouldn't sink. But swimming, really, you couldn't describe it as swimming. But I going to tell you a story where I did go swimming, in so-called swimming in the sea, with near catastrophic results. I was born in Norwich, which is the main city of the county of Norfolk, which is on the east coast of England, and Norwich is about 20 miles away from the sea. And this must have happened when I was some time after 11, because I had a bicycle, so three of us set off on this journey to cycle to the seaside, which was quite an adventure, I suppose. We made sure that one of us had a puncture outfit, which is usually attached in a leather bag to the back of the saddle, and perhaps our main attention to maintenance was probably to put some oil on the train. So anyway, of course, we went to the seaside, and that was a great adventure and great fun. We played about on the beach in the usual way, and the time came when I decided that I would go into the sea. We paddled on the edge of the sea and splashed about as boys do, but I decided that I would go into the sea. Now, whether that was to sort of ease the pain of the sunburnt skin on our skinny white bodies, or whether to cover up an erection, I really do not know, but I went into the sea and of course waded in and decided I would lay on my back and swim, which I did, until I came to a point when I realized that I couldn't reach the ground anymore. And well, I really panicked, and what had happened was that the tide was going out, so I was being carried out to sea. And well, it really was a panic, and but I don't know, I flailed about and I did make a little bit of progress, but it seemed to take ages before I could reach an area where I could put my feet down on the floor, on the bottom of the sea, and I walked out really quite terrified. I never told anybody about this, and actually I have never been in the sea again in my life, and so that was a very good lesson to learn, to certainly, if you can't swim, not go out into the sea to a depth where you can't get your feet on the bottom, or of course never to go in when the tide is going out. But we were kids, and I didn't know these things, and it all passed off, and obviously well, yes, I have survived, but I've never been in the sea again. And we did have an indoor swimming pool in our town, and I believe it was very nice, but I only saw it from the outside. In any case, it cost money to go in, and I had to work quite hard for my sixpence per week that I got as pocket money, and I would rather spend it on cigarettes or going to the cinema. Yes, I know, but we didn't know the dangers of smoking then. So swimming, sun, sea, and sand, you know, were part of our lives at that time, and of course, by doing all this, there were no fat kids in my day. We had to take a lot of exercise, whether it be playing in the streets or the woods or jumping in and out of the river, because we either had to walk, run, or go on a bicycle. But I remember them as very, very happy times, and great fun, which is different probably from the fun that you have today, but still very, very happy memories, and a very good lesson learned, I think. So until the next story and next time, goodbye.